Cool. And are we live? Apparently we're live. So yes, we're live. Hello, Internet. Welcome once again to the International Writers Fellowship RPG Therapist Edition. Because, as you can see, it's just us, the therapists who play RPGs. And totally weren't on the internet 24 hours ago talking about exactly that. Completely.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Not at all. No.
And I totally did not just burn my tongue on my tea. It's hot after, the water has just boiled.
Really?
Just in case anyone didn't know.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind.
It's all good, though.
No, that doesn't burn mine. Do you know why? Because I let it cool before I
Well, where's the fun in that?
Quite. Hello, lovely. How are you?
Like, what's a little, taste buds you can't feel for a few days? It's fine.
Yeah, who needs flavor in life? How have you been keeping?
Not too bad. We have in our private practice group, we meet once a month. We alternate between like going out to lunch, and then the next month we'll like do a peer group where we can bring cases and
that's cool.
Like talk about stuff. So today we had lunch at this place that I've never been, and it was really good. And I have lunch for tomorrow, which is even better.
Not having to cook is always a bonus in my experience.
It's lovely. I mean, I still have to cook supper tonight, but I don't have to like figure out what I'm taking to work for lunch tomorrow. And that's just one less thing.
See, I am really not a food person. I'm a very fussy eater anyway. I don't mean to be, but just food makes me feel ill a lot of the time. And if I didn't have to eat, I would genuinely get through life without eating. I would kind of appreciate it if either A, we can find out a way for food to just magically appear in my stomach without having to go through the rigmarole of cooking and then chewing, or B, just develop photosynthesis.
Yeah.
That's me good. Apart from the fact that it would probably mean I've got to walk around naked for periods of time. Okay. Maybe.
But if it was photosynthesis for everyone, then we'd all have to be naked, and then it wouldn't be a thing.
Oh, I don't know. I think you'd become a thing. Moving on from that thought experiment, shall we? Okay, 3 minutes in, and it's like, okay, the smut's already starting.
In an alternative world.
Yeah. Well, there was an anime series a few years ago on Netflix, Knights of Sidonia, I think it was called, and they had human photosynthesis in there, apart from the main character, obviously, who didn't have it, and obviously everybody just kept taking their clothes off and photosynthesizing. It was like, what? And, just
interesting.
Yeah, it's good. It's not anything groundbreaking, but I really enjoyed it. It's just lots of fighting and giant robots. I mean, that's me happy.
I enjoy food much, much more now after I had my gallbladder taken out. When my gallbladder was only working at 11%, food and I were not friends.
Oh.
Yeah. At all.
Didn't know anything about it. I the last time I did anything to do with biology was, back in school. So I don't even know what the gallbladder does.
It processes fat.
Okay, well, it's not doing its job properly then.
Well, so mine wasn't processing anything, and so my food would just go right through me, and so everything would make me sick. Like everything would make me sick, and so I was either in the bathroom sick. That was one option, or I would choose to not eat because I didn't want to be in the bathroom sick.
Right. Yeah.
And so I would have parents be like, you look so good. You've lost so much weight. Like, how are you doing that? I said, and after we figured out it was my gallbladder, I was like, my gallbladder doesn't work. So that's how I'm doing it. But we found that out mid-November, And the way our health insurance works, we pay out of pocket to a stupid amount, and then insurance pays 100%. Well, and it resets in January. And so I was like, can we push surgery off until the beginning of the year so that we can meet that ridiculous number and just pay out of pocket for it, and then we can have everything covered for the rest of the year. So I was even more miserable for the last like month and a half of the year, but now it's so much better. But because of all that, my stomach shrank a lot and I just can't eat a lot anymore, which is, I mean, it's actually healthier now that I can't eat the like astronomical portions that I used to eat. So yeah.
Whereas I just nibble on snack all day. I live off biscuits and pastry.
That sounds lovely, though.
Oh, yeah, I know, but it's a heart attack waiting to happen. Let's face it.
Let's not even joke about that, friend.
How does the lovely weather finders all? What is the weather like for you at the minute?
We have our windows open in our house. It is 63 degrees out right now. It is beautiful.
How? You were snowed in last week, weren't you?
Yeah, there's still some places where there's like snow on the ground, but it is 63 and sunny, and our windows are open, and we're getting fresh air in our house. And I am in short sleeves in my house. Oh, I love it.
Whereas this room, as you can see, is not the biggest thing. It is so as soon as the door closes, the heat just stays in here. So, which is great this time of year. Summer, oh my god, I die. But no. So yeah, but yeah. So here, what's the weather like here? Yeah, it's all right. Bit UK in the middle of late winter, early spring. Dismal. Which pond are we talking? I don't actually know where.
That's what I'm wondering. Is like, Kraken, which side of the pond are you on?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think we actually know. Are you UK? Over here in America. Okay, there you go. Having windows open in spring is great, but oh boy, oh yeah, no, we get even worse though. We get pollen from East Coast USA. There you go. Yeah, we get pollen blown into us from Europe as well. So oh, there you go. Yeah, the pollen is no better over here than it is over there. I'm afraid it's if you're going to be allergic, you're going to allergic. I'm afraid.
I live in the worst city in the United States for allergies in general, like the number one worst city.
So if you move out, it'll all just go down with it.
It will be better. So
yeah. Kraken saying, "Do you want to bet?"
Okay. Yes. Like yes.
The lady's talking facts. Yes, I know. Do you have statistics behind your Kraken, or is because Erika's looking like she's ready to pick a fight right now? I'm like, okay, I'll just go and sit outside and wait for you two to finish this.
So anyway,
it's not a competition.
It's really well, and I don't have bad allergies. And the last couple of years, I have kind of developed allergies, but my husband, he has to be on like a steroid inhaler year round.
Ouch. Maybe move.
Well, we've thought about that. But the housing prices, like it is stupid cheap to live here.
Right.
And so it is cheaper to pay for his steroid inhaler than it is to move. Like we've really done this like cost analysis. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. Eventually, I think we would like to move, but
kids got to get through school and life, the universe, and everything.
Yeah. The ideal time would be the summer, and it's just like, yeah. It is. It is in Kansas.
Wow.
It is. That is where I am in Kansas. I am in Kansas. So
Funny that. Well, let's get this over and done with quickly because I just realised that we haven't done the whole card thing, and I know Kraken finds this part really boring. So let's just get it done out of the way, and so I will just pick one at random.
So Kraken, I try not to like say for sure facts unless I'm for sure about it. That is not. I mean, Boeing was correct.
Well, it's not a Boeing either, I suppose.
But yeah, I don't. I try not to because I like speaking in absolutes is not something I try to tend to do unless I know for sure. And that was something I knew for sure. For sure. Yes.
So I thought being as Ember isn't here and Ember doesn't like, how many decks do I have? I have more than I had before Christmas, and I have fewer than I will have in a few months. But one of the ones I got over Christmas was the Marvel Tarot deck.
Yes.
Ember doesn't like Marvel, so I thought let's just use this as an opportunity. And I picked the 6 of Coins.
Ooh. Oh, that's my zodiac sign in the background there.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, there you go.
I am the only non-living being zodiac sign.
I'm not asking. So 6 of Coins, Captain America's shield, upright. So Captain America's shield represents the spirits of the 6 of Coins. Prosperity, generosity, abundance, fairness, charity, and equality circulate within this card. It's about the ebb and flow of wealth. What you give, you get back. Look to those in need and help those who need assistance. Conversely, if you need help, ask. Freedom lies within the balance of giving and receiving. Do I have a pirate one? Do you know what? No, I don't have a pirate one. Why do I not have a pirate deck of...
Kraken, what are you doing? Asking questions like that.
Amazon time. Yeah. Thank you. It's a good thing I love you as much as I do, Kraken. Seriously, it's just... But yeah, I
like that.
Yeah, give, receive, and if we look at that in terms of writing, I mean, this is a very giving and receiving sort of place, isn't it?
I think so. I think, I mean, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about a little bit on Friday about like, especially with, when I was writing fan fiction, giving, because, I don't get anything from writing those stories besides like the comments that people share back. But then even with that, writing reviews or wherever you read, or even on Goodreads, like I think that is a way to give back to authors. And I am so horrible at writing reviews unless it is something that just is like just so overwhelmingly, I don't know, it like caused big emotions in me. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Okay, mate. Sorry, I just want to show you that these are the 2 that really got me to buy the deck, because one's Deadpool and one's Ms. Marvel. That makes me happy. Ms. Marvel, I love to pieces. She's so
oh, the Sun and the Fool.
Yeah,
I love that. I have that deck in my wish list.
They're nice, very very thick cards as well. I don't know how they don't necessarily strike me as being, long, as if they'll be long lasting if you were to use them all the time. But considering they are amongst the mumble number of decks down there, and they won't get pulled out whilst Ember's here, because doesn't really.
Yeah, I have that one and the DC one in my wish list. In the DC one, only for Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn is just but the Captain, That's a very good question. How do you feel about the Ms. Marvel show or the movie? I fucking loved both.
I did too. I loved. Okay, so Miss Marvel, the TV show, like amazing,
I mean,
amazing, amazing.
Iman Vellani is Kamala Khan. So Kamala Khan is my favorite comic book character. I love her more than I love Red Sonja, and I have a Red Sonja tarot deck. You know, Red Sonja is a complete badass, but Kamala Khan is just happy. She isn't, oh, with great power comes great responsibility. It's, oh my god, did you just see that? I did it again.
Yes, she's like total fangirl.
Yeah, I would be perving over myself if I had powers like that. I would just have the time. I would be a complete troll if I had superpowers. I would just, if I would just be doing that behind people's heads all the time if I could. And that's what Kamala is. And the fact that they got a young actress who is that character, and just I love her. I love the storyline. I mean, was it the best storyline for them to tell? No, I think they could have handled it better. But if you're a fan of that character, I mean, her first villain in her comics was a giant talking budgie. You know, I think her fans can take pretty much anything that Marvel throws at us, and the film I thought was neither the series nor the film deserved the amount of hate they got.
I enjoyed the film.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
My husband is huge into the comic books, like all of the comic books, and so he goes into them and then comes out really analyzing them, and I go in and I want to be entertained.
Yeah.
And I was entertained, and so I don't care so much if it wasn't like, that doesn't matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was entertained.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I enjoyed it. And, I have friends who, female friends, which this just, I don't know, that are like, I am so sick of like the girl power movement. And I'm like, do you not understand? Like, this is like, and I don't even get into it with them because I just don't. But like, I love seeing strong female characters being strong female characters, like being badasses. And it's like, I just, ugh.
It's.
Well, and I think that's because, it's part of what I do as a profession. Like, I want, I feel like that's part of, like, I feel like a badass sometimes because of what I get to do and how I get to help people. And I'm not just meekly sitting back and just going through day by day. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but like, I don't know. I feel like now I'm going down a rabbit hole and I don't necessarily want to go down that, right? Like, I don't know that this is the place for it. But anyway.
I'll bring Red Sonja up again and Kraken. We will answer that. I think we should talk about what would our powers be in a sec, because that's a great question which I'd never actually thought of. So yeah, and yeah, please Kraken, dive in because you said you haven't seen the series, but did you see the?
No, I don't think he saw the movie. He hasn't seen the Marvels yet.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, well, yeah. What did you think of the series then? But yeah, so I love Red Sonja. Red Sonja. I've been reading her comics for decades, and the reason I like Red Sonja is because she is just Conan the Barbarian with smaller tits. You know, that is she is a female Conan the Barbarian, and I love Conan the Barbarian and I love Red Sonja. But people, so I mean, I know Ember doesn't like this deck because she's, very. Oops. That apparently that's my superpower. I destroy things from across the.
No, my book fell. Give me just a second. You keep talking.
I'll keep talking. No, just some people, yeah, and among them, just quite rightly see the overt sexuality and think that is, that's all there is to that character. But actually, so I'm reading one. I've fallen a bit behind on her story lately. I'm reading her last series where she goes and rescues a girl who has a fire demon trapped inside her, and there's lots of motherly stuff which obviously you wouldn't get with Conan the Barbarian because he doesn't do emotions. Oh my god. But in between the actual empathizing with other characters, she goes around carving people's heads off. It's awesome. And I just learned yesterday, and I do not know how, I've only just found this out, there is going to be a new Red Sonja movie coming out this year.
That's awesome.
So I'm like, ooh! But yeah, I mean, the problem is female characters are like any other character. They've got to be well written. If all they are is, I don't know, a walking pair of breasts, then there's quite rightly it's going to get criticized. And it's likewise, if all they are is an index card of catchphrases but with no personality behind them, then believe it or not, there's a happy medium.
Yeah. So I don't know anything about Red Sonja, and I'm going to look her up because what you were saying, she reminds me of the Dragonborn Barbarian that I'm playing. Like, she's got the empathy there because I don't know that I can play a character without that, like, because that is so much a part of who I am as a human.
And it's just impossible, as we discussed yesterday. It doesn't matter how hard you try, you can't exist out of your own. You can try and imagine what it's like to not have that frame of reference, but it will always creep in.
Well, and it's like the whole, her backstory and the reason she trained to be a barbarian, and the reason, like, it's so she could protect people because she didn't want people to go through and be hurt the way she was. And so that was a way, and so she is very caring. And her catchphrase is cleaving heads, motherfuckers. And I think her, and now it has, because of an ability that it's a series of things that has to kind of coalesce together, but it's now kind of cleaving bodies,
cleavages,
just cleaving,
right?
But between heads and bodies, like, her cleave count right now, I think is like 14.
Oh, is that all? I thought you were going to say 1,400.
Well, that's just in 2 sessions, because so she has a 3 head count, but then I have this sword and these things that I can put into the sword, and if I am on my bonded dragon, which I just found, my sword extends to about 50 feet, and if I hit a creature, it doesn't matter if I do 1 damage or 100 damage, it cleaves them in half. But it is only while I am on my dragon do all of these things kind of go into place.
Okay.
This is not something I asked for. This is something anyway. But like, that is, and so it's just like this badass who is like, so, you don't.
I will go and grab a couple of the comments that I'm reading right now. I'll be 10 seconds. You carry on talking, okay, and tell Kraken, and Kraken, you keep and ask questions. Come on, you go quiet.
So, but yeah, I think that having character like, fangirl, real, like Kamala Khan just feels real to me. Okay, I was just saying like Kamala Khan feels real. Like
Sorry, say again.
she feels real, like a
Real.
real person.
Yeah.
Like that I could just like walk up to on the street and find or go to Comic-Con and see. She is someone I could run into at Comic-Con.
And that's the
Oh
color.
God.
Yeah, I know, right? And because so she take people.
Mahina has red hair too.
So people take a piss out of the Red Sonja lot because of her clothing. She is very infamous for her chainmail bikini. And Dynamite Comics, where they, oh my god, their female characters, they might as well be wearing nothing. Vampirella, which I don't read, literally her superhero costume is just two lines that cover certain anatomical
Yeah.
anatomical, and that is it. And some of the Red Sonja covers, as you can see there, are designed to be enjoyed by a certain demographic. But again, but that when I think of Red Sonja, I think of that. I don't, and I really like this one because she's actually wearing a bit more.
Yeah.
Frankly, I turn into an old man when I read this. Oh my god, put some clothes on, aren't you cold? But I just open up at a random page, and that's what you're confronted with.
Yeah.
Hack / stab. Job done.
Yeah.
And just you see a man's head go flying.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, and I think that's like in writing the story that I'm writing, wanting to really write that kind of like a badass character who is real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Sorry, my brain froze when you said that. I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to say something now. Oh,
well,
yes.
no, but I mean, yeah,
It was well timed there, I think.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think that someone relatable who has flaws for sure.
Yeah.
But there's also growth and just realness, and it's not completely over the top, and it's not just like overly it's not sexualized.
Yeah, I mean, that does fail on that front.
Well, and it's not that, I mean, and a lot of it for her is because she doesn't see herself as that kind of person, like, and she never had, because she's never felt herself as that kind of person.
Yeah, I mean, but for Red Sonja, I mean, I can't
Yeah.
I don't know when the original comic came out, but this was back in a time when first appearance. No, so her first appearance was in her first comic book appearance was in 1973. So this was a time when
That makes sense.
Yeah, and since then, try and change the comic book industry. But I mean, Kraken does ask a good question there about the Eternals. So again, like Kraken, I haven't read any of the comics either. But that quite right, that had a female lead character, and several other, quote unquote strong female characters. Which why is that become a phrase of venom amongst. Oh, it's just a strong female character. Yes. Sorry. Just.
I don't know.
But
I didn't see the Eternals, so I can't chime in on that. One thing that does bother me, and that I will agree with, is like when when they and sometimes it feels I don't know what the word is, but when they flip a gender or a race of a character to gain more traction, and I don't know if that is the intention of that's what they're really doing, and it just sometimes it feels that way,
yes.
instead of creating that character. It's like, okay, if you want a female African American lead, create that. Don't, it, because I don't know. I don't sometimes it just feels like almost clickbaity. I don't that's not the right word. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's a difficult one though, isn't it? Because
well, but I've
no,
had this.
I
No, go ahead.
want to feel heard.
No,
No, it's simply because the modern entertainment industry does not do anything original. And if you want to have, as you say, an African American female lead, you've got to be brave and take a chance on an original character. And any Hollywood executive is going to go, no, just take Captain America and make her a female and black. Job done. And it's like, well, A, that is just completely undermining the point you're trying to make, and B, just piss off all the Captain America fans.
Yes.
I don't know. Well, so, but having said that, they've made Captain America black, haven't they? I think Sam's now Captain America, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which again, that took however many years to build up to. That felt amazing when that happened.
Yeah.
But if they had just done what they do in a lot of these films, it's just like, oh yeah, no, it's Captain America, but not as you've seen them before. It's like,
yeah.
Yes, but why is it not as we've seen them before?
Yes.
And because when's the Sam film coming out? Because that's soon, isn't it? I'd forgotten all about that. I'm like, oh my god, when's that out? I need it.
I've totally fallen off of like when things are coming out in the MCU because there's just so much.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But sorry, just back to Kraken's thing, because the Gemma Chan played in the Eternals, and she's just an incredible actress. She played Kraken, who's the name of Gemma Chan's character, Cersei. I'm not getting old, honest. And just Gemma Chan is just amazing. She was in I want to say Filthy Rich and Cat Flap, but that's not it's not Crazy Rich Asians. Oh, she's a remarkable actress. But yeah, as films go, Arnoldo. Oh right, sorry. We have other people here, so sorry. I was thinking Arnold. Who's Arnold? What with Arnold Schwarzenegger? What's going on here? What we were talking about Eternals a second ago. Oh, God, like hello there, Arnold. Superstars, Arnold, Sean R. Arnold. Sorry, you don't confuse me like that. It's too easily done. And anyway, I interrupted you, Erika. So please carry on.
No, I was just going to say, because after I said that, I thought of something. I was like, oh, crap. I love what they did with Ariel, and that so there were some people who were really pissed off that they made Ariel black. They made a live action Little Mermaid.
Oh,
Sorry, my bad. Little
no, I
Mermaid.
was thinking
Little
Ariel. I don't
Mermaid.
know. That's who. Which MCU film was that in?
No, I was. That's why I'm like totally changing.
Right. Okay.
So, and here's the thing I said to my friend, and after, because she was bitching and bitching and bitching, and finally, this is what I said. I said, number one, mermaids are not real. They are fictional. They are fantasy, and it doesn't. They could be. They could be blue. They could be purple. We don't know what fucking color they are because they're not real. It doesn't matter. If they were, and because here was her argument, they would never make Tiana white. Tiana is a black character, a black human.
I don't think I see. I am less up to date on.
Oh, well, I mean, I have a little girl.
Which one's Tiana? Is that the one with the rock in it?
No, that's the Princess and the Frog.
Yes. Okay.
Excellent. Probably one of my.
I have seen it, but not in about 20 years or however long ago since it came out.
It is so lovely. It
Adorable.
was my daughter's favorite. Yeah. And so that was always her thing. They would never make Tiana white. And so I shut down her argument by saying Ariel is a fictional species of character. Shut your fucking mouth and drop it. And that has been several months ago, and she hasn't said another word about it, which is good because it's a moot point. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I just submitted a story to an anthology about mermaids, actually, in which I years and years ago wrote a story about an underwater special forces unit of mermaids, and it's just like
it's amazing.
Ask Amber; she's read it. She'll tell you how bad it is. She was nice about it, but you know Amber, she's nice about everything. But I'll email it to you. You can read it.
It's like, or maybe it was just really good.
It really was not really good. I've written several. I've written several short stories about this unit, and most of them are on dry land. But for this story, they went underwater to train a mermaid section, and it's nothing but bad puns and fart jokes. I mean, that's how one of the stories literally starts with a fart joke. It's me all over. But people are talking. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore what's going on. Bird with Aquafina as the voice.
Well, and some people you just don't care for.
I don't even know who Aquafina is, so I'm.
Oh gosh, what has she been in? She was in the Jumanji Level Up, so it's like technically the third Jumanji movie if you count the first one with Robin Williams. She's been in a few things.
Oh, her. Okay.
So, yes, Shang-Chi.
Okay, there you go.
That too.
Drifting the farewell. See, I don't know what the farewell is. I'm so sorry. I don't watch much. I haven't seen Shang-Chi, but I know who. Which is annoying because it's got Michelle Yeoh in it. I understand.
I really liked it for the entertainment value. My husband didn't care for it so much from the comic book perspective, but I really liked. I mean, it was entertaining.
Yeah,
I didn't know anything about it.
So, I love wuxia films, and by all accounts, Shang-Chi was basically a wuxia, and yeah, go for it. But no, I just haven't got round. It's not because I don't want to watch it. It's not making it. It's just I have this thing called shit to do, and it doesn't allow for much in the way of anything.
Yeah.
Saying that, I watched Lego Batman over the weekend, which was always cool. I was going to say something deep and meaningful, but it's gone. Rescue me. What was I going to say?
I don't know.
Well, what good are you then, frankly? but yeah, so I haven't seen the live action Little Mermaid either. Again, for the same reason, simply because I'm in the. I've realized I'm in that phase of my life where I've got enough time to do things to enjoy, and I haven't got time to do stuff that I might enjoy. It's yeah, I could watch this and maybe enjoy it, or I could watch this and know I'm going to enjoy it. And when it comes to self-care, I don't have time for anything else at the moment.
Yeah.
So, but by all accounts, the girl who played Ariel was amazing.
Yeah,
So,
I really want to The Color Purple. She's in that the new release. I think it released on Christmas, and
sorry, you're absolutely right. Kraken's right. I was going to say that Kraken was the coolest and just the most amazing person in the world. See, what would we do without you? Sorry, Erika, carry on.
Oh no, I wanted that looked amazing, and she was in it. So I'm glad that she's doing more.
Oh, is that historical?
So it's based on, was it Alice Walker's novel, The Color Purple, which I never had to read growing up. But yeah, it looks. Fantasia, who was, she was the winner, I think, of season 3 or 4, one of the really early American Idols. It looked really, really, really good. But
I've never heard of that one. That's which is a 1982 novel. But okay, no, it's a new one on me. You see, I'm learning so much. What's this all about? And I came here, and my contribution is Red Sonja. I mean, look at that! Just
that looks awesome.
Just yeah. The other comic I'm reading at the minute, I think I told you, is Sex Criminals. So good, so good. Just God, I don't know if I could show. I'm going to show it anyway.
Oh my God!
You just open a comic book at random and you're faced with that. Just.
Oh my God!
I was sat in A&E reading that last week, and just people feeling sorry for themselves, and every now and again I just burst out laughing, and the looks I was getting were hilarious. It was just
that's fantastic. Sometimes you need that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great. They were all going, "Oh, I'm feeling bad." I mean, I thought I was having a heart attack, and I was having the time of my life. It was great.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Keep your spirits up.
So I mean, being as we seem to have taken this on as the topic of the day, because I write lots of female characters as just because there's just something cool about a badass woman who just walks on the scene and kicks the shit out of people. It's just, why wouldn't you want to read that? And oddly enough, a few years ago, I wrote some short stories with 2 male leads, and I started writing that, Jesus, mumble years ago when I wasn't old, and it was great fun. I had fun reading, but just something didn't click. And then I thought, you know what, I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna change them, and just made the 2 just completely rewrote the character. The stories themselves were pretty much the same, because there were, it was sword and sorcery. The characters arrived in an area, a monster turns up, and they kill it. We're not talking high literature here. But I rewrote the 2 main characters into women characters, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, this is so much better than it was before. And just because they had that level of empathy that your Conan the Barbarian ripoff doesn't have.
Yeah.
and I just have a whale of it. I'm about to start writing. I'm currently writing a story based on tarot cards because of you all. Just realised we haven't got our logo off. Speaking of, tarot cards there. But I want to then get around to them going to an underwater city because
That would be cool.
the water cities are amazing. I've written so many stories about underwater cities. It's rather worrying. You ever heard of the Eye of Argon? No, I have not heard of the Eye of Argon. Tell me more.
I haven't either.
And so, obviously, you mentioned earlier how when your friend said she doesn't get this whole female empowerment, I can't remember what word you used, but did she say bullshit or something like that? She used a sneering term, whatever it was. How do you how do your feelings on the subject enter into your writing, or do they, or is it just a case of you just enjoy what you write and bugger everybody else?
Oh, I think I definitely channel that in my writing, and mainly because Alana is, for all intents and purposes, me with magic. Like, if I could do magic, like, she would be me. I would be her.
I've just Googled it, Arnold, and I'm like, you don't know you don't know what you've just done to my life. Come on. Sorry, carry on, Erika. It was just.
And so, like, I put a lot of my thoughts and my ideals and morals and all of that into her.
On purpose, or kind of it just happens?
So I think a little bit of both. Sometimes not intentionally, and sometimes I'll be writing, especially doing sprints, and it's like I'll just be writing, and then when I get done, I'm like, well, that just happened, and
We're going to do a sprint today.
it's okay. It's all good. I think we're gonna, because my daughter's home from school now, and I think we're gonna go down to the basement and have some creative time before my husband goes to Taekwondo.
Did I tell you my stupid idea?
No.
About martial arts. So when I was a kid, 10 till I think 10 to 20, something like that. I did karate. Starting next Saturday, I'm starting karate again.
Yay!
You say yay. I think if the world starts vibrating, it's because I've just the gravitational pull of my beer belly is just too much for a kata. So yeah.
No, my husband did karate from, I think he started when he was 9 to, I don't even remember when he stopped, but there was some not great stuff that was going on in the organization. It was pretty yucky, to the point where I said, I'm not going. I don't feel comfortable going and being around some of those people.
Oh shit.
Yuck. And so, but he's always been interested in martial arts. So he does karate and taekwondo and judo and aikido, and like
And this is the same man who's allergic to everything.
Yes. He just loves it. So
yeah, see, I really enjoyed it and then stopped because of life and children. But yeah, the thing is, I can remember it all up here. Down here, I am going to be paying for it.
You'll get there. You'll get it back.
Yeah, eventually. I was going to say something. So yeah, but because Alana is basically you with magic, it kind of just it happens regardless of whether or not you want it to.
Yeah. And then sometimes through her, I have like epiphanies about my own self through my writing. It's very interesting.
I saw a fantastic. So my favorite author, well, certainly one of them, certainly in the top two, is Bernard Cornwell, and he did a fantastic. I forget what it was. I think it was a book reading or something like that, and somebody asked a question, and he says, and he's something along the lines of, "Are there any similarities between him and Richard Sharp, which is his most famous character?" And he says, "Well, Sharp's always grumpy in the mornings. Me too." And that is just, and every time I'm like, "Oh yeah, all my characters are grumpy in the morning as well." I gotta say, yeah, as you, even if you don't realize it until years after you've written, it's like, oh god, oh god.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu. Like, okay, that remind me not to piss you off.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm still banking on, we know 1/100th of what our brains are capable of doing. And I am still banking on someday they're going to unlock the part of our brain, or I am just, because I want to so badly, that allows us to do magic.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened already, frankly.
Because I really would love to cast Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion. I want that spell. That and Prestidigitation. Those are the two spells I would just freaking love to have.
I'm sorry, Arnold. That word realistical is now one of my new favorite words. Sorry. I don't look like it. Well, yeah, but if you did look like you do it, then people wouldn't mess with you.
Well, okay, so the insecurity. Okay, let's talk about that. I mean, we all have insecurities.
Speak for yourself. I have none whatsoever. I can take people being nice to me.
I call bullshit. Everybody has insecurities.
No, absolutely. And if your characters don't, that's when they become boring.
Yeah, and they're not going to. People aren't going to connect to them. People aren't going to want to read about them because it's like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I go back to Conan and Red Sonja. One of the things I like about Red Sonja as opposed to Conan is that she has emotions, she has hang-ups, and they make her a more interesting character. Whereas Conan, he's a cliche for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we want to, 9 times out of 10, we read or watch characters specifically to see how they overcome their hang-ups.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, there are a couple of my favorite fan fictions. They have some fairly descriptive like sexual assault, which I steer clear of because I can't, like, I just can't. And the only reason that I read it in the first place was because someone had commented on the healing and growth and perseverance like that the main character had, and like that was more the focus of the story than the assault was. But like the assault was there, and it was, I mean, it was descriptive, but you know, if you have that just to have it and then there's nothing else, like I'm why? What's,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know, like yeah.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it is now. Because I've got all of the original Conan stories. I've got plenty of the newer ones. I've got the novelization of the movie. But oh god, Kraken's got a fun question, which
Oh
means
boy.
it's like, okay, well, do you know what? It's been nice talking to everybody.
Like we've
Join us
got 4
next.
minutes, Kraken.
Yes, exactly. Come on, get it, spit it out, because we've got shit to do. Yeah, and the other thing in the publishing world is, don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a straight white bloke, and for me to write about female characters, characters of different ethnicities, different sexual position, that has become a thing these days in various publishing parts of the publishing industry, and which I'm kind of like, well, fuck you, I'll write whatever the hell I want. But the politics has kind of intruded in a way, whereas some people would feel okay telling me that I can't write. So those characters that I mentioned earlier, who, you know, some of my favorite characters, they would say, oh, you can't write that because you don't have the lived experience. My response is, can anybody say imagination? But I'm sorry, what? What? Naughty Kraken. McDonald's. Just take me to McDonald's or KFC. I'm an easy day. Oh my god. Well. We. I despair. Dark Agnes. Yes. They started a comic series with her as the main character. Then COVID hit and they stopped. I think there were 2 issues. Yes, she is just amazing as Dark Agnes. Yeah, of course you are, mate. Could take a place like Applebee's. Yeah, I would ask her where she would like to go.
I was like, for me, it would depend. Am I going on a date with my husband or am I going on a date with my daughter? Because I would, that would, they would look very, very different.
Yeah, whereas if I were to ask my wife if we were to go on a date, she would look at me as if I'd just farted. So, and you know, fair play. Guys, it's actually been a lot of fun. I was expecting it to be a bit quiet today. Erika and I were going to do some writing, but instead we had a really great talk about strong female characters and how amazing they are and how we need more of them, and how there's a Red Sonja film coming out this year.
I'm working on it. I'm working on, you know, probably seven books with strong female character. And then at the end of the last book, I have to figure out how to do this because I don't know how. But there's going to be a line where they introduce, so Mahina is Alana's stepdaughter. that they don't she doesn't know. She doesn't know her. So like her dad doesn't even know that she exists. So, but she's going to kind of show up ish. But it's going to say, but that's a story for a different day. But depending on how, like, if there's interest in these books at all, I may write Mahina's story too.
And I think we will all hold you to that. I will just say one thing. Yes, I cannot wait for June Part 2. I love... Yes. Have you seen June?
No.
Do. Go out and watch it.
Put it on my list of...
Yeah, it is awesome. So Part 1 came out, was it year before last? And Part 2 is coming out. And it's got Florence Pugh in it, which is always going to... Because I am head over heels in love with Florence Pugh, even though I'm pretty much old enough to be a dad.
I have it on my list of things to watch.
Cool. Kraken, Arnold, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute blast. All kicked off by some Marvel tarot cards.
Yeah.
Atreides. And we will catch you up next Monday, if not before. So go off, happy writing, write some strong female characters, and tell us about it next week. See you later, everyone. The soys must indeed flow, Arnold. Yes, we've got to get the soys flowing right now. And on that note, bye, guys.